Thank you for tuning into The Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and the interdimensional seer. Together they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources regarding many influences on our planet today. Our new format allows you to ask questions and hear the answers from the previous show. Post your question in the comment section below the YouTube video. Disclosures, Insider, intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at Disclosures. Well, we have a bunch of questions and a whole bunch of other things, information, updates, and news that have been coming up that we kind of put aside because we had that primary message that Peter wanted to bring in, which was extremely important. So we prioritized, and that's the first thing that we wanted to talk about. And of course, we have some questions regarding the last show, and we'll be covering that as well. So we're going to be answering some questions today. And I just want to say that, thank you, Peter, for joining us today, because we know that, you're right in the middle of it, and there's a lot of things going on. So thank you, and hello.
Hello. So we are doing much better since our last call, if you want to call it this way.
Do you want to give us I think giving us an update, and then we can go into the questions after that. Where are we right now as far as much as you can talk about?
Yes. So the situation is that we, since the last episode, we are in some sort of safe zone, safe house, or whatever you want to call it. And it's very safe and stable environment, and we can go not safely and without any further fear or something. Not only to the street, but it's very, big area, if you want to call it district or something like this. And I don't know what or who created that, but it's good. And it is not only good, if you want to call it that way, as a good, right, in quotations, but it was damaged, and it is rebuilding and recreating itself. So something or someone, whatever, it is building and rebuilding and reuniting, reconnecting old areas, old ties, old, don't know how can and how want you call them, or old, what we can call it, this, like courts, because it is courts, respectively. Absolutely, it is like courts, tons of courts, hundreds or even thousands of courts, and they are creating this space. And only I don't like, but I get used to be familiar with that, via mirrors inside the houses. And once you are getting to on down the street, once you are walking, there are those big windows, and you are not seeing normal shops, but another context of existence, I don't know, like timeline or whatever, but at least this is like big progress. And that's some conclusion for the big fight we won. It was like, I don't know, in your context of existence, was it like 1 or 2 days ago? I think 2 days ago. And it is making it much more stable, much more like solid in here, if you want to call it that way. But it's absolutely crazy how, you know, how unstable and how you know, brittle was it here. It was like fragile. It was like, yeah, like handle with care type thing.
Yeah, so that was, you know, in regard to the escape from Tarkov scenario, or the bleed through, and then is there still a battle going on?
Yes, but we can still hear it, and it's loud. But that's it. Like it's loud and it's up there. I mean, out there. But that's some still a warning that, okay, you need to still be ready for something. And that's it. That technically we are still ready and good to go, right in the middle to the action, you know. But at least it's still gaining some solid structure. I think that this is reality timeline. I don't know, but this is some solid reality, I think, right? And this is, I don't want to say exact to 2020, I mean 2020, but it's more in the future. I don't know, but I don't know, like 5, 7, maybe 10 years in the future, something. But we are at least happy that we was able to fix it, because there was a lot of fixers, technicians, or whatever. They just appear out of nowhere, and they were not builders. I mean, people, they are around once you want to build some buildings. No, they just created this stuff, like, and that's it. It's absolutely crazy, because it's like in the game. No, I'm not kidding you. Okay, like in the game, once you are able to collect collectibles, some piece of scrap or something, and then you are able to create some I don't know, solid structures of practically everything you can possibly imagine, right? And that's pretty much good. And we are just here to just check for this passageways, these doors or portals or whatever, and we just will figure out where it leads to, or where it will lead to.
So you said that these beings just showed up from different places. So it's kind of interesting that we have those that are supporting and helping us, but we don't really know exactly all of them of who they are, but they're kind of like without ego. They're not, you know, asking to be a god and all that other stuff. They're just there to help. Yeah.
Because we asked them, and they were like scratching to the head. So it was like they desperately tried to tell something, but it was clear that they don't understand. And okay, I am such a bad. I didn't talk the basic. They are humanoids, but they are just a little more tall than the regular humans. The smallest ones, they were like only very slightly smaller than 6 feet, and the biggest one, the highest one, they were like more than 7 feet in the height, and they are normal, because they told us that they are fugitives too, and they tried to rebuild the stuff because they lose their homes and everything, but only with few of them we can communicate. But that's the very interesting in our own native languages, so not like English or something.
So it was like Czechoslovak language that they were speaking.
No. I mean, yes, with me, yes, but I don't know how many people with how many from how many nations and languages. Yeah, you are absolutely right. With me, in my own mother tongue, in Slovak language, but yes. Mm-hmm.
But you don't know. Do you know what civilization they're from, or what are they a council, or is it something you can't talk about?
I can, but okay. I don't know. I can, but I don't know, because and that's the problem. They don't know too, because they don't. They tried, but they don't know their absolute origin.
Okay. This is, like I said, it's really good, and it's nice to know that there are many different helpers there, that when we have a problem, when we ask for help in our reality, we just assume that, there's like the earth, continues to revolve in a certain way and travel around, the galaxy and around the sun, and there's an assumption that it's all perfect, and that it should be. And we don't realize that there's many that are involved in assisting this. And I know that breaks a lot of belief systems, but it's true, isn't it, Peter?
Yes, the stuff is that I was like, okay, and what will be, why are you doing all this? And they told me, no, sorry. Yes, but technically because there are two. They are a couple. I can call them, they are in a marriage, but I don't know if their societies can call it marriage or something. And they told me that is just to make some asylum for them, because their way of existence was invaded and destroyed with some invasive either hybrids and crossbreeds created by invasive ETs. And I was like, okay, and why? How you can tell, you can be so sure that they were ETs, and they called them vandals, so they are bad. And then after some short description of appearance and very, very bad negative energetic aura characteristics, they are not as bad, but how can I say it precisely? They are trading information, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the main part of the problem. No, they are not invading and destroying stuff, but they sent another, how can I say it? They are like orders. They've got the order, and okay, why the hell not? They just gave piece of intel to another species, and they did what they did. You know what I mean? It's like once you ordered assassination or something, and you get to those people, they just need to do it. Some, I don't know, money or whatever, you know, something like that. It was extremely complicated. At least those things I was able to get, and they were like, okay, that's not a big deal, but what do you want? And then they start to open this some sort of weird tablet. What it was like only, I mean, it was off screen because it was only on the air, and they showed me a huge list of latest technology, and they've got a whole bunch of technologies. It was much longer, and it was banned tech. I was like, okay, what do you mean by banned tech? So their technologies, the innovations, it's prohibited to talk about. And I was like, okay. And I was like, aye, bad news bears. And they were like, why? Because those are military technologies. And they were like, okay, what do you want to tell to us? And I was like, because in my world, in my reality, people just needs to, I mean, they would want army stuff, and they got these small pocket watches. I was like, okay, that's nice. Historic one, I don't know, like from 19th century or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the chain on it, like the chain.
Yeah, exactly. And they even from 18th maybe, they were Swiss made, and yes. I've got several of them because I am collector of that. And I was like, okay, what do you want to talk? I mean, to show me this. I know them, the brands and all kind of those behind stories, and they told me, okay, but this should be positive resonance. And okay, I like, okay, but how you can do this all around the world? And then they showed me that those pocket watches should be in some sort of radius in a specific places all over the world.
Yes.
And then we'll change the leaders' minds in I mean, all around the world. And I was like, okay, this is ambitious project. Once you believe in yourself that it will work, why the hell not? Just go ahead and go with us. So now this is the actual status, as I like to say, status quo in English, in Latin language, but I think that you are using this in English too. Yeah. So that's pretty much the latest stuff I want to tell you and our listeners too, because there is nothing new except this.
Peter, that whole thing with the pocket watches, I saw Napoleon dancing in one time. I was looking at the history, and I saw him dancing with his wife. He had earlier danced with this other woman who was like a courtesan, and she took his pocket watch. And then I watched it, and she later on was on the street with this man with these striped pants, and he had like white hair and a beard, and he looked like a time traveler, almost like who's that French traveler? The guy that does it.
You mean Jules Verne?
Jules Verne, yes.
Because he wrote so many books that it was practically impossible to write without being in the future. I don't know about submarines and all. Yeah.
So this woman stole the watch of Napoleon and gave it to him.
Yeah, but there was no only one watch. No, there was, I don't know. I saw, I mean, not tens, hundreds of those watches.
I know. You know, I agree, but that I saw that happen. I was like, what am I watching? I said, this is pretty interesting, and and then I realized it was Jules Verne, and I was like, you know, how else would he know all of that? And it made sense to me that he was traveling, but is he one of the collectors of the watches?
Yeah, and I just want to tell you that especially in the very top of the list, I mean, how they can help us, okay? It was the deck of free energy. Free energy, I mean, there was complicated principles and all kind of those, I don't know, whatever. I'm not expert in that, so I don't want to talk deeply because I can, but I will screw that, I know. And they was like, okay, stop that, because they were scrolling. Oh no, please stop that. What is all this about? And they just scroll up to very top, and there was in their whatever language, and they just make it to my own mother tongue, and it means in Slovak free energy. And I was like, holy moly, I mean, everything of this is free energy. I mean, completely harmless to the planet, and all kind of those free energy, eco, whatever you can call it, And I was like, okay, that sounds good. And that they are just, they are just so happy because they've got hundreds, maybe thousands, I don't know, of those pocket watches, and that's kind of interesting. I just want to share with that because I think that have an ally with such a civilization, but I don't know if, to be honest, if they are only one species or whatever, or civilization. But they are very friendly.
They're nice. I've interacted with them quite a bit. Yeah, they're they're very interesting. And I'm glad you're bringing it up, Peter, because I've never heard anyone talk about this, and I've seen them. And like I said, you're the only one that I know that can validate or explain some of the stuff that I've seen, because some of it's pretty crazy.
And do you know what is weird? That they are like, okay, you need to smoke. And people are, no, not
they
me,
do.
not me. No, but people, for example, people with cancer, and they make cigarettes, they either smoke cigarette, or I don't know, drink either, I don't want to say it is, but it tastes very similar to our coffee, either coffee or tea, and it will heal the cancer. It was absolutely crazy because those people, there were people, but not from my squad, but people, I mean, normal, our people. And there was a man, he was very, I mean, he is still very tough. He's from Texas, and he got the big ranch, and he lost everything. He's kind of, I don't want to talk about that. And there was a scientist, and this man was smoking the cigarette, and he got the flu, right? And those scientists with the cancer, he looks kind of bad, and he just, please give me your cigarette. He just, this Texas man, this rancher, but hey, my friend, I've got the strong flu. And he was just so smiled, and I am slowly dying. Yeah, and that was the crazy, that part of the story, that this young woman, just ran to him like crazy. And you mean like there will be no cancer? She just asked him which kind of cancer is that, and she was he was laughing at her. Hey, but this is a tea, normal tea. It was like green tea, I think. And believe it or not, but he's out of the cancer, no cancer at all.
Well, I think the plants originally were all here to help us in their healing, and I think our plants got distorted, so that some of them hurt us instead.
I'm just telling you that they can help us a lot.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, about the actual situation, and we can go right in the middle of the questions.
I just got a quick question though. So do you think that Jules Verne took the watch from Napoleon to stop him? Did that stop him from doing some of the bad stuff he did?
And French people, French government, they hide it goddamn good well from the Hitler, because Hitler will definitely win the Second World War, believe me.
Yeah. I mean, well, they won in another way, but yeah.
Just for official record, yeah.
Yeah, I know. So, and also Magritte was another, like, an artist who knew a lot of stuff. He was a traveler too. He had all sorts of futuristic stuff too. And anyhow, and the other thing I would just want to comment on is the marketplace that you talked about, like where they trade and everything, they sell things. I've seen that market, and that's like a weird place too. But anyhow, all right, let's go into the questions, because we got quite a few questions, and I don't want to ignore them. Let's see. All right, so the first question is from Fab Gerard. A question for Peter. When I look at how things are moving in France, I ask myself, which are the bleed-throughs, and which directions are we moving? And then they said, thanks again. So I don't know if you kind of answered that question already, but
this is he answered his question already in the question, because that's it. It's kind of bleed through, but I don't know if people, they are real deal. I'm talking like from this reality, if it will be strong enough lesson for them. It's up to them. It's not up to me. No. Mm-mm.
And the bleed through, you think, is over there in France, is what's this yellow vest? Some of the problems there.
Exactly. No. Not some of them. All of them.
Right. And because they have some really weird, aggressive people that show up.
Yes, out of nowhere. Do you know what is crazy? I've got friends, people. I lived for many years in the France, and that is like, okay, they arrested Protestants. I mean, the most aggressive ones, right? And they've got, how the hell is that? And I was like, okay, just calm down and tell me. There are no records, nothing, no birth list, no, papers, nothing, like ID or driving license, passport, nothing. And I was like, hey, I don't want to tell him, blitzers, but I was like, maybe it's time to contact intelligence service or secret service, whatever. I need to be extra cautious with those, kind of touchy things. But I know that it is not like contacting intelligence service think. No, that this is the outcome of the bleed-through. That's the story.
That makes a lot of sense, Peter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Christian has the next question. Hi, Jess. Could you ask Peter if the bleed-through event that happened around the end of December 2012, from December 21st and to January 2nd into 2013, if the bleed-through started around that time?
Yes, it started, but the stuff is that it started in certain part of the world, and it is still ongoing.
Right. Was it a specific part of the world? Can you talk about it or no?
No, because that is not because I can't, but it is in general, and it is like somewhere appears, somewhere disappear, and all kind of those things. So it is extremely complicated, almost impossible to be specific about that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So it's sort of like it shows up and then disappears and then goes somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. That's the case.
Yeah. All right. Judy has the next question. What can we do to help?
I don't know, but I'm pretty much sure that I talked about this, and not only once or twice. Just create the ghost network. What means drink mint tea,
lemon, honey,
lemon, raw honey, or at least something what will be the closest to it. Cinnamon and what? That's pretty much it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And try to meditate and point your minds, your ideas about to be helping not me or ACIO or something, but to create, if you want to call it that way, better world of freedom. But hey, not world of chaos, because many people they want absolute freedom, what is extremely similar absolute freedom with chaos, and no one wants to have chaos. No one. Just it is very important to talk about that.
Excellent. Okay, good. All right, so Gabrielle, hold on. Thank you, Jessica and Peter, for all the new information. This is really serious, a very serious matter. I definitely noticed a lot of change in Ohio. Maybe the next time you can ask him or ask Peter what's going on in Ohio, because after the cars came, everything changed. Remember the cars that he spoke about? Many people didn't notice it, like, a few of us did. Can you explain to him how they can change something so fast overnight? Like, in other words, the cars coming through, the unusual cars, I'm trying to remember what the situation was, but he's saying that saying that there's a problem in Ohio.
Not only in Ohio, but in some states, they are, how can I say it? Some states, they are poor and people are doing only, I don't want to say only, but the most, there are no factories, no, I don't know, like power plants, or there are no what, like, can't get to have some layers of oil or something like they are in Texas or in Alaska, but people are living mostly from agriculture, and but that's the fact that once you are in zero, you are in plus, if you want to call it that way, so you can't simply exist without doing anything, I don't want to say illegal, but what is at least in a gray sphere. For example, people are making moonshine, in what is it, Virginia and all kind of those states. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the southern states.
Yeah. In
moonshine, they call it.
Yeah, they call it moonshine. Yeah, you are right. And the stuff is that they are misusing those people, their desperate situation, in order to smuggle the things. Because they stopped them, they told them weird ass story, and they hesitate to do the thing. The smuggling go to smuggle the thing. But as I told you, it is not just they misuse common people trunks, but it is like, okay, they smuggle things, but they've got the hell of the cash out of nothing, because people hesitated to report us those things. And Monarch, there was certain part of their complicated mechanisms, and what is it, like those machines, it was way too touchy, way too complicated, and it will be destroyed, unuseful during the teleport, right? And it will be like, it have no goddamn clue. Those people have no goddamn clue what happened, and they usually don't check their trunk space. But sometimes they used it that way, but they get smarter to that. There was those big bags. They were like, okay. And then people because locals know each other, and then okay, and they just random strangers, and they've got a lot of cash. I'm talking like grants. I mean, like thousands of dollars, and they were like, "What the hell is that?"
Wow. So there's just a lot of and so Monarch is involved in all of this, what's going on, not just Ohio, but in other locations in the U.S.?
Yes, yes. That is absolutely crazy. Yes, it is absolutely crazy. Yeah.
Do these people ever, they're being used by Monarch, but do they ever get in trouble for it, or does Monarch protect them?
And that's the main part of the problem. They always get them out of the jail.
Yeah. That's how you know that who's working with Monarch then. Those that get out pretty easily. Yep.
Exactly.
Well, look at, I hate to say it, Kevin Spacey. I mean, the perfect example.
No, don't talk about Kevin Spacey. Jeez, I know. I hate this guy. And he is not Kevin Spacey at all.
No, it's Paul Serene. Yeah. No, but I mean, he, clearly gets away with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that won't be forever, I guess. All right, so next question is from Ray Story. And he says, Jessica, would you kindly ask Peter, the insider, if he knows any details as to what was in the package that a teary-eyed Richard M. Nixon taped to Robert Merrick's chest shortly before Nixon's resignation. Before Merrick died, he had 3,000 documents and other info taken from him in which his home was watergated by agents. The man...
It is sorry for interrupting you, but that's 1, 2, 3. I'm such an idiot. It is nothing complicated. All of this stuff was dealing with MK Ultra, and we definitely need to make huge special about MK Ultra, because this is absolutely crazy topic. This is like mother cracker, agenda. We did something, but it wasn't systematical, and we need to talk about this. That's like
this is all an MK crazy. Ultra.
Yeah, all of this stuff many people will believe, aha, some of two candidates, Nixon wants to be re-elected, and all kind of, but this is only fake story, because those documents were extremely touchy, extremely sensitive, and it was about MK Ultra or illegal activities of CIA, extremely in conflict with Bill of Rights, right? Bill of Rights.
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty much it. And just I want to tell you that those as I like to say, moonshiners, you know.
Yeah.
They back to previous topic in I don't know, in Kentucky or I don't know, Indiana or Washington or whatever. There are lots of smugglers, so they don't suspect themselves. I am talking locals, right? And that's it. But the hell of the cash, I'm talking, I don't know, like for small can, and they can get an, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe even 20 grand, so $20,000 for just getting few miles on the federal road. I mean, they should think about that. People should think about that.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of trouble for.
Yeah, just for what? For you need to concern this. That's a big risk, you know.
Mm-hmm. So I have the getting back to the question with Nixon. So they said, are any of those documents related to aliens that they were trying to hide or protect that information? But they said that it would all come out in 2020. So that's 2020 now, Peter. Maybe you need to expose it more for us, be the one that I guess.
But they will never talk about that. I mean, the stuff they talk about, all of these things. And I just want to tell you about Ohio, the previous question. There are cars or building or structures they simply doesn't belong to the North America, but the same stuff is ongoing in Europe or Asia or whatever.
Is that bleed-through stuff? The cars, the strange cars, the buildings?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You are right.
Wow. All right. The next question, Belialith said, Peter has a damn good context of time for being in a place that's timeless. Tell him, Jessica, to listen to his heart because it's A+ on the square. Tough psychic.
No, I know what A+ means, and I'm just it's just kind of weird that she knows what A+ means. Yeah. But it's only for her, no for anyone else, because she knows what A+ means.
Yeah, A+ on the square, she said. So yeah, I guess it's a statement between you and her.
It's code message, and I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
I mean, she knows, and that's true. Yeah. Okay.
So Ray Rowe asked a question for Peter. You said the plane MH370, it went into a different timeline. Is it possible that it was taken to Diego Garcia, a USA military in the Indian Ocean, and sat there for months, and the body's decomposed, and then the plane was changed to MH17, and then it was flown to Amsterdam, Netherlands, and then flown to the Ukraine with explosives on board to put the blame on the Ukraine to start a war.
That's the stuff that either Ukraine or Russians, it doesn't matter. The stuff is that bleed truths happen all over the world, all during the different timelines or whatever. So technically, we can't differ which bleed through it started.
Right. Okay. So yeah, so that's possible then, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we get to Rose. I got a question about that the Ukraine crash in Iran. My question is, how can you have intact bodies when the plane was in pieces and in fire, and you see all those body bags that look that they're not empty, as it is a false flag that happened in the Ukraine with a plane that was destroyed by missiles. Also, they brought bodies that were frozen to the scene, also by the trains.
I am just telling you that it is like that. All of those are bleed truths, you know. And also called they need to fake bleed truths because it's not easy to do that. It's not just like that. No. It is not just like that. Nuh-uh.
Right. I think that there was another question. So Ray Rose sent me a private message, and he asked about the Assassin's Creed game, but there is also Creed, a perfume that goes back in years in London, also Paris and New York. It's some brand of perfumery that's called Creed, and he's wondering if there was a connection, because there's also called the Assassin's Creed Wear that goes back in time, and which is, you know, the fight for the Crusaders in Spain and artifacts and so forth. But there's the perfume there.
I know, and that's pretty much true. When the Delphi started there, they call it project, but I don't know. It's pseudoscience. I know it's not pseudoscience, but you know, then they started to do some bad science, and very bad. You know, I don't like that at all.
Right, and so but that game, the Assassin's Creed. Yeah. I mean, that's also like I don't know. They do time travel. They step back in time and they alter time, or what they're doing there. But you've never talked about that game at all.
No, because it is very similar, you know, with another stuff, and they used what? They use what they are using, you know. They are using their own another context of existence, and it didn't fit well to our stories. I'm talking like actual bleed-throughs or timelines. That's pretty much it.
Okay. And I'm trying to see if there was something. I think there was something from Christian Coltrane somewhere. Rolf was pulling up some of the questions for us. All right. And otherwise, I think if you see that question, Rolf, maybe you can just bring that in and we can look at it afterwards. So moving on, we can go through some of the some of the events that have been happening, and that you're going to give us an update. If there's anything else that you want to give us an update on, then we can do that too. I'm just going to go over to the list that we were looking at earlier.
Yeah.
And starting with, I don't know if you want to talk at all about that letter that I received, Or is that something that's just between you and I?
Yeah, it's just between you and I. We can go through the topics, I think, at least.
Okay. All right, so Japan records the first case of a new pneumonia-like flu, and there's also China has some other new flus that come in out of nowhere, or at least we think it's nowhere. Can you explain what's going on regarding these flus?
Yeah.
Viruses.
Yeah. Technically, it is. They are latest inventions, if you want to call it that way, of Umbrella Corporation. I mean, not the whole corporation, but the local branches in China and Japan, and they are up to. They're up to make a test on certain races. What means Asian races, because they are Chinese, they are Japanese, right? But they want to create multi-type version race, so I don't know how this will end, and they are seriously how can I call it, because this is only nasty words coming through my mind, because another corporations, they hate that, because they believed that Umbrella can do whatever they can't, and whatever they can, and that's the problem, because they simply believe that they've got, their own rules, and they are unstoppable.
Right. So they're sort of doing like these guinea pig experiments on us, and different, testing to see whether we're resilient, or kind of like what happened in Chernobyl, to see how people will react to.
And then, right, exactly.
And so then, what do they? When the people are resilient, and they don't get affected by it, they're identified in some category that they use those people. Or are they just out to eliminate those that are like a survival of the fittest? They want to get rid of the weaker genetics.
I don't want to say weaker genetics. You are.
In their mind, yeah, I don't agree with it.
I don't think you are absolutely true. Let's talk it. Let's call it from their point of view, right?
Yes, you're right. Mm-hmm.
Because in their twist-minded point of view, if we want to be absolutely precise.
Right.
Okay, so that's pretty much those topics. Those are
of course the ACIO are trying to stop some of these practices of the Umbrella Group and Monarch and so forth. If people like to know.
No. Once again, you are absolutely right, but another corporations, they are seriously, like, they start to hate Umbrella, because they believe that they are unstoppable, and they are considered as a threat for others, because they made such weird viruses or whatever, that they can create real deal apocalypse, and they've got all these ampoules, or something, and yikes.
Yeah, I guess that China just confirmed according to the BBC News, 139 cases of viruses in 2 days.
That's true. That's true.
Yep. So we have that article as well, and here again, to protect people, mint tea.
Absolutely.
So keeping vibration up. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
we can move. I think we can move to another topic.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. There was let's see. Did NASA's space probe recorded a big herd of alien animals on Mars? Is that accurate?
Absolutely accurate. But they are, how can I say it? Yes, they are birds, but not birds as birds, because, for example, our birds in on Earth, they can create some sort of formation and all kind of those things. They are sociable and all kind of those stuff, but no, this is next level of craziness, because they are so sociable, those birds there, like whales are, or dolphins, you know, they like to be petted, they, you know, are scratching each other and all kind of those stuff. That's so weird.
So, but they're just like a whole other kind of species that have been surviving. Are there a lot of other different animals there on Mars?
Oh, I don't know how many thousands of animals. Yep.
I mean, you do hear people that originally, like you hear certain people that have been on Mars missions, and they've talked about. I think Andrew Basaggio talked about the very small beings. They look humanoid, but they're very small, maybe like a foot tall or so, or very.
Yes, they were like 25-30 centimeters, what means approximately 1 foot. Yeah.
And then there's, or even smaller. They talked about some.
But the problem is we can talk with them, but and that was the stuff we recorded that because it was extreme. It was like almost like okay, what should we do? And then we recorded that, and we will, we slow it down, I don't know, to 10 or 5%, and okay, that's good, because they are extremely like hyper intelligent, hyperactive, and all kind of those things. But they are so fast, and they're like looking as parrots, head to the side, and like, okay, why you are looking at me? I'm like a dork, and then like, make some gesticulations. That what is so complicated at that what they said, and I was like, and I just replay it, and I was okay, I got you, I hear you, and that was absolutely crazy. And they were desperate that I need to play it so slow, and yeah, that's crazy.
So is it good that people they're talking, like Elon Musk wants to bring 1 million people to Mars, and is this, there's also people talk about having these military bases there and some other types of activities.
Military bases is absolutely no nonsense. I almost forget the normal word. I stopped almost to watch my language, because talking about military bases is prohibited. And once someone start to use it, it is completely let us call it untruth, very politely untruth. Okay.
So if they're talking in detail, saying they were on a military base, that's no possible way that would happen, because they wouldn't. It's not allowed to disclose.
It is technically not true, because they wiped their minds, And even this, they simply, because it's like a mouse or like mouse or cat, that it can seek through very small amount of space. Yeah, so even they will seek for something. The memories of something like that will be completely like one big ass of nonsense, nothing. So once they will be able to recognize that, aha, I was here and there, so even their what it will be, let me, like memories being on Mars, on a military base, it will be completely faked. Because yes, of course, they can be all kind of those things, but no, not true. Because their true memories was wiped out, long gone, and they was replaced with some random ass nonsense. I mean, yes, of course, detailed description and all kind of those things, but absolute nonsense. Nothing.
Right. So is there someone else filling in information about these Mars missions?
Even give me a second. Even I've got 100% memories. Everything true, but I am absolute non-relevance to talk about this. Nothing. Nothing. I can't.
Because you're not allowed to?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's dangerous, right? You can get killed.
No, not dangerous. I will be dead man. Because it will be just a matter of time and bye-bye. End of story.
Yeah, because it's just like any other military operation. Don't talk about it.
They will triangulate me, and there will be other people, believe me, much more advanced race, alien races, and they will just with power of their mind, they will kill me. Like they will choke me. Bye-bye. End of story. So I know the things, but I don't want to talk about that because it's prohibited. It's a secret.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it.
So, what was I going to say? Jeez. And I just lost my train of thought.
Sometimes happens.
There was a civilization on Mars long ago they called it Cydonia.
Yeah.
I believe I was there. I have a memory of that. Way before any U.S. military. So do they have a lot of record or history on that?
We've got tons of that, but the problem was that they got back, and they don't know why the hell they did that, but they completely get their highest advanced tech and stuff to the military, and believe me, not only US military. I was like, what the hell? Why? Are you idiot? Maybe they are.
Well, what I remember is before I think the civilizations here, I was in this high-rise building and I saw an explosion.
Sorry for interrupting you. I'm talking what happened on Mars.
Right, yes.
I don't know why, but I think they simply don't care at all because they've got another, not planet, but planets, whole bunch of planets. They don't goddamn care about Mars. Nothing. They're like, oh, screw the Mars.
You mean the military or the corporations?
No, not corporations. This civilization, this race you talked about.
Oh,
and I don't know. I simply can't get their logic. Why they are so...
they're not there anymore. You're right.
But no, I'm just telling you absolutely. But I'm just telling you why they are so passive about their own past lives, past creation, nothing. They're like, screw it.
Because it was a war. Because it was a bad war. That's why.
I know, but even I simply can't get it, but maybe I'm too stupid to get it. I am not here in this world in order to get to everything.
It's just like everything, Peter. I think that there was, the galaxy, the galactic groups have their own politics that we don't understand. Like, they don't like certain things, but we react in a human way. They have different ways of reacting, right? So
maybe. I think that you are right.
Yeah. So
yeah, you are right.
So you have to think like them in order to understand why they did what they did. But,
yeah.
All right. So the next topic is some hikers captured this magnificent photo of a rare rainbow or a halo. I mean, is this our air quality? Is this chemicals in the air? It's like a weird rainbow-looking thing, but it looks artificial.
This is absolutely like they are trying to triangulate and the specific place in order to make the airport. I'm talking about the emitters, how we can call them emitters.
Or they're using some kind of technology to check something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Extremely precise, and it creates something what looks like a very nice rainbow, and it is, of course, in northwestern part of England, because in England everything, it started. I mean, there was Stonehenge, it started this crop cycles or something, this very nice, what it was like, patterns in fields, all kind of those things. So England's it's pretty good location to, for their air. I don't know if we can call them airports, but you know what I mean. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There is very easy answer to this question, and short.
So Gary might have been involved in that. Our friend
Sorry?
the Immerser. Gary the Immerser might have been involved in that.
Yeah, but I am, to be perfectly honest, I'm happy that I'm not hearing about Italo Disco and Coffee.
But they're not there to hurt anything, so they're just checking on some things or whatever. They're watching over the planet.
Yeah, I am just making fun,
Yeah.
Okay, so
all right. So the next one is
Moon. Yeah.
The next one is this director Yuji Yamaguchi passes away from. He's one of the anime directors. What this anime is a big deal. I won't call it Disney, but it has the same appeal to the younger population, and especially sort of the Western world has picked it up, even though it's coming from Japan, and but it's also bringing in some of there's magic and stuff that's involved, and I know. Some of the kids are picking some of this stuff up. So I don't know if it's activating or awakening or if there's Monarch is involved in this. That's the reason why I brought this topic in.
Yeah, you are right. He disappeared because that was pretty much it. I mean, that means the mission ends. Do you know what I mean? Like, man, end of story. You did what you did. Bye-bye. If you want to call it that way.
So he wasn't given permission to do this?
No. He got certain mission. I just need to clarify.
Okay.
He got certain mission. He ended. I mean, the mission accomplished. And he was as I like to say, get back to his country, if you want to call it that way, or his contact defense distance, but they like to call it country. Yeah.
So that he was brought in to bring in this information and
extracted. Yep.
Yeah. But he had permission to do this, and then he was finished. So that was it.
Absolutely, that is the case.
Okay. So then it's not negative, and where these storylines.
This is positive. This is very positive.
Oh, okay. So it's teaching them something. Okay. Because after that, then I have this other story, which is from a father. It's from the Daily Mail. A father confesses to killing his wife, their 3 children, in a Disney town. So he got triggered or something like that happened. They looked like a very nice family. Supposedly he owed money. I mean, he could have committed this crime anywhere, but there was something there that activated. It just seems interesting that here again, it's a child resort, and here's, an incident with, a horrible ending. So.
Yes, but that is pretty much it. It's 1, 2, 3. It is Disney program what is practically subpart of MK Ultra. That's it. I think there is nothing complicated.
Okay. The next topic is it's something from I'm not really sure about this one, but let's see. It happened. What's the date? It's a crashed UFO in Antarctica guarded by tanks. I don't know if this is an old story or not, but this is spotted in Google Earth. Let's see if you recognize it.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about that.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I didn't know if we talked about it on a show or not.
Yeah, we talked.
Yeah, we did. Okay. All right. So the next question is, let's see. Yeah, and they're doing a 3D printing of living skin with blood vessels and everything. What's going on with that? This is part of the cyborg?
Yes, absolutely. This is those nano femto, pico, nano femto, twento, whatever. Not plus, X minus 9, 12, 15, something like that. So this is pretty much it. They start to do it massively, and that's it on public way. There is nothing to hide because they were compromised. So that's pretty much it. We talked about it many times.
Right, but this is the first time that there's an article like this. It was hard to find any kind of information because they're behind us. Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, that's it. They were compromised. Right. So there is no need. No need. There is no chance to hide it. Hide it. Nothing. Because they are screwed pretty much.
But we talked about this a couple of years ago, and people were like, we have a hard time believing that there's androids and that they look that human. And here it is. It took a couple of years, but the information came for this proof.
Yes, that's it. I don't know how many haters or believers and the non-believers are or will surround us, but I've got only one solid proof. Time.
Right. Okay, so this also is related to the same thing. Fox News said that meet the Xenobot, which is the world's first living self-healing robots created from frog stem cells.
Yeah, I know this because I was there once they made the prototype, and it was, I don't know, like 15, maybe 20 years ago. No. It was 2 years after 9/11, what means 2K3. Yep.
And this article came out on January 14, 2020.
Yep.
So there it is, right, Peter?
There it is. There it is.
Yeah,
from 15 to 20 years, once something is brand new in military or whatever, and once it is released to the public, I always talked about it.
Yep, you did, and you're trying to keep us updated.
Yep.
There was another new UFO appears in the NASA photos from Mars.
I think that there is no. I think we covered that pretty much. Yeah.
But it's pretty much the same thing. You talk about this information, people say they don't believe, and then the information comes out, and they're not sure what they should believe or shouldn't. But you keep on saying it over and over again. Maybe they won't get mind wiped again, and kind of influence. It's not anyone's fault. I mean, I even get it myself sometimes. You can feel when it happens.
Yeah.
You try to do a mind wipe.
Yeah.
I thought this was interesting, and I brought this up. This is a female assassin. She's only 21 years old, killed after a gun battle with Mexican military. I mean, is this like one of the super soldier queens, or who is?
Absolutely. But she wasn't killed. She was extracted. She was extracted to super soldier training base. And I know what will be the next steps, but it is not allowed to talk about it yet because the case is in ongoing investigation process. So that's pretty much it. I can't to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, when they caught her, I just want to finish reading. She was a female cartel boss, a ruthless drug lord called La Katrina, kind of like that storm, and what led the nation's most powerful hit squad is killed in a shootout. Maria Guadalupe Lopez Esquivel. And it happened in Mexico. So we'll have all the articles there. This is what we're talking about, these super soldier queens.
Yeah. And those two explosions we talked about earlier, I think. Those two explosions, we talked about that. So that's pretty much it for now. I think
I think we have that. And then we talked about Russia. What about this this thing with the U.S. Space Force just swore its first with Trump? They don't want to talk about UFOs in the U.S., but they can talk about a U.S. Space Force.
This is ongoing process too, so I can't talk about it yet.
Because it's military related.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Got it. All right.
So I think that. We are on the show. We are on the end of the show. What do you think?
I added two other things. There is a riot that's building up.
Maybe we can talk. We can deal with that in the next release.
Okay. All right. So I guess then we're we're good for now then, Peter.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, and so as you mentioned earlier, you guys are taking a few steps forward, and things are going away. The shadow beings are not around anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's good.
And so you're just going to continue to keep us updated?
Definitely, yes.
All right, thank you. This was an excellent show. Thanks for spending time and going over some of these topics with us.
Thank you. For being here with you too.
Okay. And everyone, thank you for listening. Keep listening. Post your questions. And if we missed anyone, apologize. Special thanks to Jennifer for sending some of these articles. And also Ray and a few others that sent me information. Have a good day, and we will keep you updated.
You have been listening to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Marocco. Join us on the YouTube channel, Jessica Ariel Marocco, and visit www.peter-insider.com and www.readingsbyariel.com. Remember to post your questions in the comment section below the video. We look forward to hearing from you.